Let's talk TV, shall we? This week in the TV section, we have some release dates and renewals over on Amazon, Gen V, Fallout, so on and so forth. We also have kind of a follow-up on the Daryl Dixon series that I missed when we were talking last week, as well as an update on the American Horror Stories series. So let's talk about all that, shall we? Welcome, nerds, to the TV news. That's a little ambiguous, don't you think? This is a clip that is taken from the larger Week in Nerddom that gets posted up on the main YouTube channel at Generally Nerdy, or youtube.com/Generally Nerdy, however you have to go about it. This section of the news, we're talking about TV shows and episodic shows on streaming networks. I'm still working out a way to say that isn't such a mouthful. Either way, it's going to be TV shows, right? That's how this works. And so let's just get into it, shall we? Follow-ups and corrections is going to start us off. We have Gen V has been officially announced for a second season. I feel like I say that with trepidation because I don't think it was from Amazon directly. I think it was through news sources who were saying that it was happening. I don't know that the official, but I very well could just be misremembering this because my notes are so thorough. But yeah, either way, it looks like Gen V is getting a second season for sure. That's all we got. Let's move on. Speaking of Amazon Prime, though, we have a date for the Fallout series from Jonathan Nolan and his wife Lisa Joy. Release date is April 12th, 2024. A brief teaser was launched as far as video goes. Has no actual footage from the series, but it's definitely full of Fallout imagery, so that should be playing on the screen now-ish. And then we have that follow-up on The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Trailer dropped for season 2 last week as I was editing, so you got to see bits and pieces of the trailer in the edit last week, but I didn't let you know that there was a trailer, so now I'm letting you know that there's a proper trailer. If you watched the final episode, nothing in this is going to surprise you necessarily, especially if you've been listening or watching this show for some time, because we talk about it pretty much every week because Walking Dead is great. From there, we have final one is Good Omens. Speaking of renewals, a third season is coming for Good Omens, though it should be noted that showrunner, director, and executive producer Douglas McKinnon will not be returning for the third and very likely final season of this series. I don't know that he's made a statement around this, actually. So no reason why he's not returning. He's just not returning. That's what we got for follow-ups and corrections. Let's talk next about trailers. We have a trailer for the event of the American Horror Stories season. Now, that's a weird sentence, I understand. Let's talk about that. Let's break it down a little bit. American Horror Stories is kind of the supplemental for the mainline American Horror Story. American Horror Stories is an anthology series that lives in the same universe, let's say, as the American Horror Story series. Previously, you get an American Horror Story season, and then a few months later, they do an American Horror Stories season while they're working on the next season of American Horror Story. I know this is so like S's and no S's and blah, blah, blah. But this season, we are not getting a proper season of Horror Stories. We're only getting a Halloween event, which actually, as you're probably watching this, is live up on Hulu. It's going to be 4 episodes, so 4 anthological episodes of American Horror Stories, and it's launching the 26th. So yes, probably as you're watching this, you could go flip on your Hulu and watch some American Horror Stories, because that's where it's going. This is part of the Hulu Ween special presentation that they do every year, and that's all we're getting for American Horror Stories this year, which is kind of significant because we're not getting any more American Horror Story proper for some time, because strikes kind of threw everything off, and the second half of this season is a little bit in limbo. As soon as we have a release date for it, I'll let you know, but I don't know how done it is or how much they need to do still, or so on and so forth, if they're going to be able to do any of it with the writer's strike still going on. So that's the thing. From there, let's move over to regular ass news. What with, strikes still happening, there's not a whole lot, but we do have a release date announced for this year's Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. The new Treehouse of Horror day Day is going to be the 5th of November on Fox if you want to catch the actual broadcast of it, or if you miss that and you want to see the Hulu rebroadcast or just go watch it on VOD whenever after that, that will be available on November 6th. The reasoning for the jump, because theoretically they could put it out closer to Halloween, but there's football, so football takes precedence over nerds, it would seem, and that's kind of the way of things. So scheduling conflicts. This is not the first year that they've had to do the Treehouse of Horror after Halloween, so it's definitely not going to be the last year, save for if Simpsons gets canceled, which, you know, isn't entirely out of the question. But that's all we got for news this week. Let's talk TV suggestions. This is the best damn haunted thing, best damn Halloween horror related thing ever. Honestly, hands down, my favorite horror IP to have graced screens in the history of screens is Haunting on Hill House, or of Hill House rather. The Mike Flanagan series that kind of started this whole Mike Flanagan shenanigans. It rhymes like I didn't mean it to. That started all of this was Haunting of Hill House, and honestly, he has not been able to best this, and no one has been able to best this since it came out. This is honestly the only thing that has like legitimately creeped me out without being disgusting since I was a teenager, which was a long time ago. So yes, absolutely 100% for the Halloween season, go watch the entirety of Hill House, because yes, it is amazing and worth it. It's on Netflix. It's a reason to have a Netflix subscription in and of itself, is for the Mike Flanagan stuff. Yeah, and this is the best of it all. So I'm gonna stop rambling, go check it out. Once again, nerds, this has been the TV and streaming news for the week, taken from the main show, The Week in Nerddom, which is posted on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Thank you for joining me here, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.